There is no time for pre-approval after you find the house because guess what? It's going to be gone by the time you get a pre-approval. And they're probably not even going to look at your offer without a pre-approval. So, no, there is not time to wait to get a pre-approval. You need to get the pre-approval.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
All right, guys, welcome to the YMA Nation podcast, episode number 102.
102.
Man, it just seems weird just being over 100 now. 100, 101, 102. I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
And it is Real Estate Wednesday.
Real Estate Wednesday.
Are you excited? You know whose show it is. You know whose show it is.
I am excited. We had a special guest on last week.
Mr. Victor Sanchez from PMI Southern States.
Told you guys a little bit about rentals.
That show, I'm going to tell you something. It came out, right? And the views was like, pow, 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 pow. I was like, that many people are curious about that? That was interesting.
Yeah.
Rental properties. But I think what it was, too, a lot of people that's like, oh, I want to flip homes. I want to learn about, like, getting properties. And that. Anyway.
It's a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole.
If you're all right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Right?
Yeah.
Subscribe. You should be subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, just if you're on your phone, just tune off. If you're not, okay, I'm being sarcastic. Don't tune off. Please don't tune off. We want you to watch the show. We want you to learn the show, but subscribe. So then every time a new episode comes out, it sends you a notification and you can watch the new episode.
Yep, right then and there.
All right, so let's get started.
So we're doing part 2 because I gave y'all part one
last Wednesday.
Well, the Wednesday
before Victor, yeah.
So part 2, top 10 real estate myths debunked.
So
y'all, if you didn't see part 1, you have to go back. Watch
2
part
weeks
1,
ago.
And then we're going into part 2 because we got halfway through. So we're going to get through these and talk a little bit about them. And you're going to love the first one.
Debunked.
You ready?
I'm ready for the first one.
Getting pre-approved will hurt your credit.
So last time, how you did, you would ask me, then I have to be all involved. So is that a question or is it a statement?
It's a statement, but I know that how engaged we are
with
through
credit.
Masters Credit Consultants, that how true is it that it hurts your credit?
Slightly, yeah. If you hold on, let me step back. It depends. So if you're that person that's just out there house hunting and you going into every subdivision and they're like, oh, we could just check your credit for you right now. And then all of a sudden you got 15 new inquiries on your credit, that's going to hurt your credit.
Right.
But if you have a agent that's familiar with credit and they can like see your scores and tell you, no, let's hold off. Okay, now let's go ahead and apply. Let's send you to a lender now.
Mm-hmm.
Then it makes sense. Yes. And a few points.
Right. So
I think I just debunked it already.
If you're working with an agent,
mm-hmm.
I mean, most agents aren't going to just be credit specialists, right? They're going to get you with a lender. A normal process is you're with a real estate agent and they're going to get you with a lender to get pre-approved, right? That's a normal process. Getting that one inquiry is not going to just be detrimental to your credit file.
Right.
You have to obtain the inquiry to see if you can get pre-approved. Like, you have to do it.
Like a car. Like they got to check your credit.
They have to check your credit. So it's not so much if you have an idea of where you are, and being familiar with your own credit is the most important part. Being familiar with where your scores are, what's on your credit file, that is more important. That way, when you do get with your real estate agent, then you're going in with confidence that you will be able to get pre-approved when they may send you to a lender, give you a list of lenders to choose from or whatever the case is. And then you can make the decision based on what you know about your own credit.
And if they can pre-approve you, then they'll kind of tell you, right?
Right.
Like, okay, you need to these are some things that need
Some
to be
lenders will. Lenders
on.
don't have time for that.
Really?
Yeah, it's too busy.
Okay.
They don't have. I mean, they just don't have the bandwidth to baby step people through the loan process like they used to.
Well, the one the pyramid group uses, because I always hear, oh, well, this person didn't get right, which is rare. But if they didn't, because they're trying to qualify for a certain program,
right,
like a USDA or whatever, then. And I want to add to that too. I know your time, but real quick, I want to add something. When we say one inquiry, that's on each credit bureau. So don't think you're just going to get one inquiry. There's going to be one on Experian, one on Equifax, one on TransUnion. So you get one on each one, because when they check all three.
Right.
And the last thing too, I'm taking over her show. The last thing, right? Also, right? People say, because I hear it all the time, Credit Karma said I was at a 650 and I went and applied for a mortgage and they told me I was at a 580. So I didn't qualify, but why? Where they getting these numbers from, right? Where they getting these numbers from, right? So it's good that you understand, or your agent could help you to understand that there's the scoring models are different on Credit Karma versus what a mortgage lender is.
That would be a lender. Your agent probably isn't going to help you understand that. A mortgage lender will help you understand
your team does, because your team they know both sides, right? But it's good. And if you're in an upstate and you are trying to buy a house, then you should contact who?
The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams. 864-249-1437.
Do it. Let's do it. If you're trying to buy or sell your current home, yes, do it.
I'm going to get through like 2 of these tonight.
Let's go.
2 of these today, I mean.
Let's go.
Okay. There's plenty of time for pre-approval when you find the right house.
There's plenty of time for pre-approval when you find the right house. You know, my stand is you should always be ahead of life. That's my saying, always be ahead of life, but I'm interested in hear what you say.
So let me tell you what, in this market, there is no time for pre-approval after you find the house, because guess what? It's going to be gone by the time you get a pre-approval. And they're probably not even going to look at your offer without a pre-approval. So no, there is not time to wait to get a pre-approval. You need to get the pre-approval, be prepared for when you walk into the house that you absolutely love, in order to be able to put an offer on it right then.
I'll tell you, based on the same thing, that example that you just said is almost like going to a car lot and say, hey, dude, look, I got bad credit. I think I'm in the 400s. And they're going to say, okay, no, that's no problem. You got any cash to put down? Like, no, I don't got no cash. That sales rep is about to go and find the next person that he can help.
Yeah.
Like, you are going nowhere. You are not driving off this lot with a 400 credit score and no cash to put down.
You're not getting no card today.
So you got to have something. And,
right.
And the
seller wants to be confident that you're going to be able to buy that house.
Right.
Right. They don't want, well, maybe they'll be able to buy the house. I mean, it still is a question mark going through the lending process, but that pre-approval is kind of like that security. They're pre-approved. At least their credit's good. They got a little bit of cash.
They put an offer
They're
down.
okay, yeah.
And we could take it serious.
This is going to be fun. You ready?
I'm ready. It's going to have something to do with me. Watch.
You should never offer full price.
Oh.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, it's just a credit score, relax.
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
I think it depends on what day we're talking about. Is this real time right
real
now
time.
in 2021 of July? You should never offer full price. Well, if there's multiple offers on the table, then you trying to go under, you just wasting your time.
And your agent's time. Look, this is a nationwide epidemic. Okay.
Let me jump in. Hold on. Let me say something. I think this is important. This is important. And your the agent should check this. How long have that house been sitting on the market? Because most houses are on the market for a day, 2 days, 4 days. And so if there's a house and you log on, like this house been sitting on there for 2 months, there's something wrong with that house probably. So yeah, I would go under then. But unless
it went under contract and then came back onto the market, that could be a reason why sometimes when you're reading that data and you're like, oh, well, this house has been on the market for 3 months.
Right.
Well, it could have been under contract.
And it failed.
And it fell through. And then it went, was reactivated onto the market because it just goes to contingency and then goes.
Right.
If it doesn't sell, it'll reactivate.
The seller agent will tell the buying agent that, right?
Right. So that's good. That's a prime reason to have an agent, a buyer's agent, is so that you're getting all that data that you may not understand how to read or you're not privy to or don't have access to, so that you understand things about the property that you're interested in.
Right.
So in this market, you're going to have to go full price offer. I mean, there's no at least.
So if that house is on what sites?
Realtor.com,
Zillow. If that price is on there for $400,000, you should be putting in at least $400,000 on that house because there's probably 4 other people that's going over.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say it does depend on the price range too, because you have levels. So like a lot of things that are, I would say 300, maybe 350 and below.
You're talking about the upstate.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
In general, then you're going to. It's going to be more of you have more buyers in that price point. So it really depends on the price point too, because a $3 million property.
Oh yeah, that's probably been sitting out there for a while.
Right, and so then no, you may not have to offer full price on that.
That's true. Absolutely right.
So there's a little caveat to it. It depends on where you are. But if you're just like a first-time home buyer or you're in that market, you could be downsizing or whatever, and you're in that blossoming price point, where you just have a lot of buyers in that realm, then you're probably going to be looking at full price.
Their agent should be able to advise them on that, right?
Exactly. All right. Buying a condo is just like buying a house.
No.
It's not. A condo has different requirements. You're buying a piece of a property, and that section within that property is your property.
Right.
It is very. It is a different process and different requirements to be able to qualify for a condo. So I would, if you're looking at getting a condo, not saying it's a bad thing, I would just talk to your agent, talk to the lender. Make sure they're able to lend on the property and things like that.
Right.
Schools don't matter if you don't have kids.
Schools don't matter if you don't have kids. I think it depends on your age. if you like grandparent age, I don't think schools matter. But if the average buyer that's between the ages like say 21 to 40, then yeah, schools matter.
Schools always matter.
Oh, schools always matter. Let's hear this debunked. Let's hear her side of it. It is debunked. This myth is debunked.
So, just think about it. When you have a school district and they're ranked very high in the state, then you're going to have more people wanting to be within that school district for the people who do have children, right? So that's going to dictate the market of that area. When you have, you have some people, they'll research, the schools, and that's going to give them an idea of the community and the people living within that community based on the school district, how they ranked education-wise,
right,
and things like that.
And you know what? That's true when you think about it, because most high-level school, I would say, like, it impacts the family. Hold on, let me step back. So if you have a great school, the parents are normally like a 2-family household. The income is normally like median or above,
right?
Which impacts like the neighborhood. Is normally a nicer neighborhood. So yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because it just hit me. You are absolutely right. But I just think of where I grew up at, like the school probably wasn't the best. Well, not probably, it wasn't the best. But then you look at around the school, you got projects and everything around it. So you don't want to buy a house like next door to the projects.
And what's crazy here, like in the upstate, you see that the areas that they're trying to, that are being built up right now, what are they doing with the schools in those areas? As they build the area up,
the schools improve too.
The schools improve as well.
Yeah. And everything around it improves. Like the type of things that come to the area.
Right. Attractions, food, like
the type of restaurant they bring to the area. It's not like the average, like just McDonald's or a little small mom and pop. Like it's like national chains.
Right. So all of these are things to consider when you're buying, or even selling, because you have to understand the market when you sell as well. So, will I get a full price offer if I put my house on the market? Is the market where it needs to be for me to make the money I want to off of my property, right?
I don't know what you heard, but the myth has been debunked.
Yes.
Episode number 2.
Yes. So we enjoyed you guys.
That is it. Man, that's it. This was a good show. You don't have like part 3 yet? We just going to it right now?
No part 3.
No part 3. The myth. I want to hear some more myths. I want to hear them debunk.
I gave you 10. No, we're going to have a really good show.
Next Wednesday, can we get some more myths?
No, because next Wednesday, I want to go back to home buyers.
Okay.
First-time home buyers. And we're going to talk about lending a little bit more.
I think that's important.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You know what I think would be a great show? Is to talk about some of the unexpected things that happen.
Yeah.
So, like, here's some things that could possibly happen in your transaction.
Yeah.
And then, not to be discouraged on it, but here's how you handle those things.
Yeah.
So then people are like, oh, okay, well, they talked about that on the show.
Yep.
So, guys, we will see you guys on Sports Talk Friday, episode 103.
103.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.